Dear students, in today's class, we are going to talk about some interesting facts for positive integers. Let us try to understand it by taking some examples. Uh, Choose any positive integer of your choice. Let us take 30, let us say. So, how can we factorize 30? 30 can be factorized as 15 2s are 30, which can be further written as 5 multiplied by 3. What I have done here, I have factorized this 15 further as 5 multiplied by 3 and this 2 as it is. So this is the case for 30. Now let us take 100. So how can we factorize 100? It can be factored as 50 multiplied by 2. Again we can factorize 50 further as 10 multiplied by 5, right? Multiplied by 2 as it is. We can further factorize 10 as 5 multiplied by 2, and this 5 multiplied by 2 as it is, that will appear here. So this is the case for 30 and 100. So you can choose your own integers, own positive integers, and try to factorize them. So actually what we are doing is we are factorizing any positive integer as a product of primes. As you can see here, in this product, in these factors, all of them are prime numbers, 5, 3 as well as 2. Similarly here also you can see that we are having prime numbers. So what we have concluded is, take any positive integer, we can always write it as a product of primes, but we should be careful of one thing. Sometimes it may happen that right now I am factorizing 100, right? Let me factorize it by some uh, other method in the sense, uh, the factors whatever appears here, I will not take the order as uh, 50 multiplied by 2, but some other order. Some student may write it as 2 multiplied by 50. uh, some may factorize 50 as 25 multiplied by 2, am I right? And then further 25 can be written as 5 multiplied by 5. So again you can see that again we have factorized 100. Now again we can see that some primes are involved here, 2 and 5. The same primes were present here as well, but there is one difference: the order of the primes is different. So here first of all we have written 5, then 2, 5 and 2. Here we are having 2, 5, 5 and 2. So depending upon this, there is one theorem, and that is called as fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So according to that theorem, take any positive integer greater than 1, obviously it can be expressed as product of primes, and this representation is unique. So if you take any positive integer, we can always write it as product of primes in a unique way apart from the order in which factors occur. Now what is the meaning of uniqueness and this statement? So the meaning is, see, we have factorized 100. Now you can see that the factorization is unique, right? Means इथे पण दोन primes, means in this factorization we are having two primes, that is 5 and 2. In this factorization also we are having two primes, that is 5 and 2. And if you observe properly, 5 has been appeared two times, same thing here, and here 2 has appeared two times, and same thing is happening here. So this is nothing but the uniqueness. So we can always factorize any positive integer as a product of primes in a unique way, but uh, apart from the order in which factors appear, the meaning is that your factors, the position of the factors may change. So in this case, first of all we are having 5. In this factorization, first of all we are having 2. We are having 2 here, and then we are having 5 here. So the number of primes appearing in the factorization will be same, means 5 is occurring 2 times, here also 5 is occurring 2 times, here 2 is occurring twice, here also 2 is occurring twice. But the only difference may be that the order of the factors may be different, and that is nothing but the meaning of this statement apart from the order in which the factors occur. So according to fundamental theorem of arithmetic, if we are having any positive integer, we can always express it as a product of primes in a unique way apart from the order in which the factors occur. Now there is one more corollary of this theorem. So it says that further, how can we write it? Means 5 is occurring 2 times, so I can write it as 5 square multiplied by 2 square, right? Same thing I can write here as 5 square multiplied by 2 square. Just we are combining the primes that are occurring more than 1 times, right? So we are combining this 2 5s together, and we have combined this 2 2s together. And this representation of any positive integer is called as canonical form, and that is exactly nothing but our corollary. So it says that any positive integer n greater than 1 can be uniquely expressed as p1 raised to alpha 1, p2 raised to alpha 2, and so on, pk raised to alpha k, where each pi is a prime number and each ki is a positive integer. Let us try to understand it by taking one more example. So if I have 210, let us say, so how can we write it? It can be written as 2 multiplied by 105, right? Further, we can factorize 105 as 5 multiplied by 21. Further, we can factorize this 21 as well. 7 3s are 21. So you can see we have expressed this 210 as a product of primes. Now the question is, what is the we have expressed this 210 in canonical form. Okay. Now the question is, what is the value of p1, p2? What is the value of alpha 1 and alpha 2? So over here the value of p1 is 2. This is p1, you can say. P2 is 5. P3 is 7. And this 3 is nothing but p4. Now what are the values of alpha 1, alpha 2? The value of alpha 1 is 1, alpha 2 is also 1, and similarly alpha 3 and alpha 4, the values of alpha 3 and alpha 4 are also 1. If I take another number, let us say 500. So how can we write 500? 500 can be written as 50 tens, right? 50 further can be written as 25 twos, and 10 can be written as 5 twos, which can be further written as, now 25 is same as 5 square. So 5 square multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 2. Now we will combine the same primes together. So this will be 5 cube multiplied by 2 square. So this is called as the canonical form. So value of p1 is 5, value of p2 is 2, value of alpha 1 is 3, and value of alpha 2 is 2, and that is nothing but the canonical form of 500.